Just the two of us.
All right. Well, hey, folks, you're probably here for some Imposter
I
Kings
wish there was a way
action.
that we can make it to where we couldn't see his hand.
And this right here is going to be an intense match.
Oh my lordy!
Come on!
Two top-tier players, folks. That would be Yedi and Goose here in the semifinals for the inaugural season of the Imposter Kings League. And things are already off to a humdinger here.
That is correct. Biblical.
You know, it's easy to forget that the concept, right, Cena, is that the card that is face up at the end of the hand is going to become the king of Nersetti. Okay. Is that correct?
No, it was not the face-up card.
Oh my god.
So that's. I'm talking to the players to say to minimize their chatter, except for when they want to just trash talk each other. But I just wanted to say that Goose is already flipping his cards around, and also his favorite card is the princess, so that's why he was pretty pissed off.
I don't know. I can't make any choices because,
as you can tell, he's really frustrated about the princess being the face-up card.
Yeah, that's true. And what that means from a hand perspective. So again, we're looking from Yeti's perspective, and
I'm gonna go ahead and mulligan.
You know, I could see that.
I don't have an answer to assassin at all.
Nope. What was it?
That's a weird one.
Oh, sentry.
That's a really weird one. What?
That actually sucks that this is here.
Yeah, I got some 5s, a couple 3s, you know, as you do. So
great start.
Yay!
Who was playing first? That's a top 4 start there for you.
Alrighty. I will always be the one that says I stumbled my way here. Then we should make a rule where you can just what's it called? You can just relinquish True King.
Why would you ever okay, I get it. It's a hard choice, but like man up and make a decision.
It's a meme. 1, 2.
You're a meme.
6, 7. 8. I know.
Oh wait. I don't know if we're supposed to curse. This is supposed to be family friendly.
So that's an excellent question, though. Yeah, hand evaluation is an important part of this, and you know, there's some broad strokes things that you can do, and then there's specific patterns in the hand that are important. There you just successful. The queen looks like.
Shit, I have to.
So generally, key thing to look for is first of all.
Chat's popping up.
No, yeah. Nobody's be like, wow, I can't believe Goose has.
Did you guys see? Yeti just put his assassin face down?
Like, no, it's not.
Generally, one of the things I look for are weapons. And the weapons in the Imposter King are towards the edges of the number
viewing experience.
Bar. So, you know, the Fool and the Assassin are weapons. They're ones that you can plan a strategy around, that the other player has to react to, that you know, you can basically win the game with the successful deployment of that card. And the same is true for, you know, both the royalty cards and also the 8s. And it's usually the cards in the middle that are complementary, they're supplementary, but if that's all you have, if you don't have a barbell hand, if all your cards are in the middle, chances are you have a very weak hand. There are other things that are worth looking for. One is, do you have an answer for royalty? So if you don't have royalty in your hand, in both royalty or unaccounted for and not in your hand,
do you have an assassin?
Can you survive that?
I do.
Look for assassin there, which is good play. These brothers have played each other quite a lot, so they know how to, like, the hiding the queen thing is something that he's known to do. So smart play for him to go for the assassin judge play.
Yep.
Do you have the king's hand?
I do.
Okay.
Mm.
Obvious choice here if he wants to take it. He knows that Yeti has the assassin in the hand. He might choose to play around it anyways. Because he does have a backup.
That's right.
It's 2 backups. It's got quite a lot of backups.
That's right.
He's got the Mystic and
I'd
the
like
King's
to
Hand.
inquisit the queen.
I do
Oh,
not have it.
went for the Queen. Good.
Oh.
I tell you, these people, they know each other. And now he's left himself open to a counterattack with another Inquisitor. That's the risk of calling the wrong thing. He could have gone with the safe option here, but I respect him. But we were talking, me and Goose, before this. I was like, have you seen Akagi, which is an anime about ridiculous gambling? And he's like, I want to be
Was it
just like
King's
Akagi.
Hand?
So. He does. If you watch Sam's stream, you can see both hands.
Oh. Okay.
But yes, your assumption was correct.
That was on the wrong stream the whole time.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and flip on that guy.
He's gonna get rid of it because he knows the flip will also kill.
Alright.
Yeah, the tough thing about using the Mystic as your failsafe for the assassin is you also suspect the opponent's got the Fool, and you're just going to leave a wide open swinging door for, at the very least, the
Mhm.
grabbing of card advantage. And especially, right now, there's nothing especially valuable out there.
I'm going to Mystic of Twos.
There we go. He got rid of it just
Okay.
because he wanted to. But now he's opened up to a Fool.
Now, if you're playing the Fool here, Cena, what would you grab?
Inquisitor. You know that Goose's favorite card is in his hands, so you'd want to. Not a bad play. Oh. This is interesting. He decided to just casually play an assassin.
So
Oh, because it's useless. I'm sorry, I forgot.
right, it's useless because of the Mystic,
Right.
but yeah, it's true. It has. And there is an advantage to this. He knows he still has the king flip ahead of him, and the king flip is another opportunity to get the fool out. So decided to keep his powder dry there.
Good idea to actually offload the assassin. He wants the pressure. He wants the pressure right now because he only has 2 cards left in his hands.
Doing
So
flip.
Okay.
So he did the flip on that because he wanted to make sure he's still garbage for the fool, which he will now play.
Fool.
I mean, I
And
would grab the Inquisitor here. You take away that Elder, it's pretty painful. Oh, but there's still the ace in the hole here is Goose has that Princess.
Goose has the princess to set up a trade. He's got, if he needs to
With the
just
Fool.
escape the hand, he's got the Oathbound to make it a 1-point loss. So he's actually not in a bad spot.
Yeah, but that
think I
Fool
will
is going
take
to just
the
change the
judge.
card. And he opts to take the Judge.
What's interesting is they had almost perfect mirror hands.
Well, I mean, he could
I'll
use the
slow down a little
Judge
bit, so that way he can
to
actually
basically
commentate.
throw junk at him for 2 turns, and that's really bad for
That's
Goose
good.
because he has really low cards in his hand. So we'll see. What do you mean? Oh, probably his Elder.
Surfy Goose here, so you could
Or he could just play a
play.
casual 5, but I would have taken the Soldier for that. The brothers think that the Oathbounds are the most powerful card in the game, so they will always have it in their hand. They very much, but it's not always a 2-for-1, and it's also some things that could win the game. I mean, maybe they'll
Ooh, that's interesting.
change your mind tonight. We'll see.
So that's interesting. He played his elder. I'm surprised. I would have thought he would have set up a potential trade.
No, what he's trying to do here is he's making it so if he plays high, he can oathbound a princess
very
and get out of it. If he plays low, then he can still potentially trade or play a high card and then hope he doesn't have any answer. Maybe play an elder and then get out of it with the 6. The trap here that he's setting is if Yedi plays anything higher than a 6, then Goose gets out scot-free. Now the only thing he has that's higher than a 6 is obviously the queen. So
Yeah, I mean, unless Goose, this hand is going to end most likely in a 1-point loss for Goose here.
I'll do this.
there we go. And now he can just 6-9 out.
Yeah, he can escape with a 1-point loss.
His rationale is that if he loses all the cards in his hand, then he only loses 1 point rather than losing 2 points. And so right now Goose has the out. If he does his oathbound into princess, I'm pretty sure he's going to opt to do that.
Yeah, it actually doesn't matter which way he goes, given what is in. Yeah,
Oathbound princess.
Okay, good play.
Yeah.
1-point hand.
So Goose gets out of it with just 1
I
point.
got so greedy with this Inquisitive. Oh
Yeesh.
man. Should have known.
Oops, wrong person.
Wait.
1-point hand. Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. If I swap here, if I just play this and like give you this, like it doesn't really matter. Because then
Yeah,
you
you just
play,
give him
like
the
you probably
judge
give me
and then
this, and then you play this with something else, and then it's 2 point. Yeah.
that's 2 point hand. Yeah. So
Well, the
you
idea
have
was
to,
there. If you play that, I just give you judge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the right play. Okay, so 1 point.
all right.
1 punto.
me to round 2. Well, these are some
This
pretty interesting hands.
looks like a mediocre hand that just landed in Yeti's lap here. A little bit better given the century is wiped, but I wouldn't be happy to get
Wait,
a hand like that.
I'm True King. Wait, we're gonna do that.
That's interesting. Wonder why they didn't do that. Might have screwed up the script a little bit with the changing of hosts.
Oh, maybe.
Here, I mean, the thing that's not going well is that Goose has not only the 6-1 trade, but he also has the assassin, and he can just casually throw away one of those and be okay with it. I do like the 7s. I mean, it's not like a terrible hand for Yeti, but it's just not a favorable one. I agree. It really depends on who goes first.
This is also a very weird one.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
Because
gonna go
Mystic on the
first.
2/8
You're gonna go first?
tends to be a
Okay.
very
Yeah, I'm
powerful
gonna go
play.
first.
Another application of the Oathbound is actually using the Oathbound to hit both 8s, and they can't even King's hand it at that point because the 6 prevents that, which is pretty devastating if they have double 8. But as you can see, Sentry's face up. Sentry's face down, that would even be more devastating if you think about it, because then he wouldn't even know.
Yeah,
That's not we got one man.
Dot Sam, are you there? He's not available. Oh, can you cover over the face down card?
You said you're going first, right?
Mhm.
soldier.
So it's a soldier. You've got the complete picture now. It's a perfect game. You can actually just
So-
run this through a computer at this point.
So at this point, right? So Goose is.
I know.
I've been
I'll have an
meaning to-
evaluator at some point. Don't worry.
Yeah, I was meaning to do that too. Some point. I have a half-written one from a year and a half ago that I just never finished. If you're Goose, you look at your hand, right? You've got the classic barbell hand, both of the fool and assassin. You've got king's hand. You've got princess. What? I guess your strategy is going to depend on who's going first here, and who is going first.
I think I'm gonna go with this. This.
We think that Goose is going first here, and that's a hard first, right? Like when you play.
All right.
Well, hang on, hang on.
I would check
actually.
out the king's hand. I just
Sorry.
put number pressure on right away. Pull the
Mm,
You know,
pull
I'll
the
do that.
queen out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Already.
Yep.
All right. Let's see if this is dumb or not.
Oh,
goes
Where's
with the
the
queen.
princess?
He
what a
loves the
champ!
princess play.
Instantly, no
His
hashtag
favorite
no
card.
regrets.
No,
You
And
swap
he's
mine
gonna
mine.
try to
regrets.
pick it back up. That's the thing. Is if he
Nah.
plays an elder,
Okay. No
but
regrets.
he doesn't have any elders. So he's giving it up basically because the queen's gonna come out and just kill it,
But he forces the queen out early, which makes
Yeah.
the fool more potent.
right? Because the queen is naturally a good counter to
Mhm.
the queen. Now he set up this warlord. He's kind of baiting it because if he plays the warlord right now, it's actually a bait because the warlord does come out as a 9, but then you can do the 6/1 combo
you have an
to
assassin?
pick up the queen.
I do.
Okay,
It's
guess
a bait
that's
that I fall for
assassin.
every single time.
Flip my king.
All right, that's a quick flick.
Assassin.
King's hand.
He's gonna king's
Okay.
hand it
Hand it.
immediately. He feels like he has this completely played out in his head
So
already.
that's. That
So he can
might-
just play the fool now.
that.
Or
Oh no,
wait,
that's his
gotta
turn,
go.
so he can now get the second assassin. He didn't realize he had the
Doubled it.
double
and
inquisitor.
that.
Okay.
You can tell that these players have played. So if Yeti did not have that that inquisitor, then it likely would have been
Oh, this
a
is
2-point hand to
terrifying.
Goose. He played that risk. Now we have to see whether he has the rest of the answers here. He's pretty confident in his ability here. Casual sex.
Ooh.
That's right.
Pick up the assassin. Pick up the assassin.
Oh,
Pick up the assassin.
why?
Oh.
Dang it.
I mean,
that's
it's same
interesting.
outcome though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an interesting.
You put
It's
the judge
interesting that
here.
you went.
Yeah, it's still
What?
2 points. You know, it's
I
just
didn't
better
know
to
what else was gonna
assassinate.
use more.
I feel like there's a little bit of a
Could have mystic
psychological
once, I
edge.
suppose. My plan was to mystic
to-
threes, but I figured that you toss one elder.
Mm-hmm.
So the buried card was a soldier?
I think so.
Yeah.
And then you didn't have one. This would help you.
It would have, and I was really cross. I didn't know whether I wanted to keep a mystic to try to mystic threes or a soldier to try to flip stuff over.
I guess. Yeah.
That was my one thing. And realistically, I probably should have gone for the mystic because what I was thinking is if I mystic something, you're gonna king's hand it,
Mm-hmm.
possibly. So that was to me kind of an answer for king's hand. But if you didn't do that, then it's just begging to get fooled unless I do exactly once. So I think this probably should have been here, and I should have had soldier instead, and then not put soldier down here, but maybe put like my oathbound down here or something like that.
I don't know.
Because you flipped.
On your judge.
They're dissecting their
Oh yeah,
hands
no.
as usual.
So I played that. You played this, and then at this point in time, I can soldier.
Mm-hmm.
So I should have played soldier, and then I knew that you're gonna have probably a fool.
Mhm.
So then I can flip over that, and then you pick up. I don't know.
Mm.
It doesn't matter what you pick up because I have the oathbound to tie it, and that's the highest card in the court.
Unless I pulled the assassin again. Oh, I
The
guess
assassin
you
is
already
mystic,
flipped.
or no, it's
No,
not.
it's not.
That would
This
have
here,
been funny.
bud.
Oh well. So 2 points.
We're having some good commentary about
I get
how
much
people like to
punishment.
analyze their hands. And I was just gonna say, I mean,
Talking.
they remind me of two chess players who have played a lot together. If you notice, Goose was just firing off, knowing exactly what he wanted to
There
do.
you go.
And now it looks like the tables have turned somewhat. We got
Wanna do,
some
bud?
barbell going on
Mm,
Yeti's side
cards.
here. Oh yeah, neither player realizes an assassin's gone. I mean, he could put. Well, we'll see what they decide to do. The the crowd is crying for a mulligan for Goose here. I'm still looking at it. Dan, what's your take?
I mean, Goose has got a dismal hand. If it does have survivability.
Well,
Depends. If he goes first, he has survivability.
Right.
Oh.
And it's his. No, wait. He won the last hand, so he doesn't have that choice.
Well,
Uh,
you remember when we said that they weren't going to do it, and then they did it? You know what? It's fine. I was going to mulligan this anyways.
Okay, so you're mulliganing. Okay.
Yeah.
Um.
So what should I do? Should I mute the server? Mute for 3
I'm
hours.
gonna unmute Sam real fast and talk to him.
Wait, what happened?
I'm just
Sam
gonna
thought
unmute
he
all of
spoiled
them
it, but
real
he
quick.
actually put it under spoiler text. So I wonder why it's.
Dan, can you
aligned.
DM me real fast if you can hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Oh, yeah. Here, 1 second. Here, hold a second. Let me do a little DMing here.
I think they've been able to hear us, right? Whether or not you can hear that.
Okay, cool. So. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think this
tell
commentary
them
is
to
going to
not
come
say
out very
anything,
well because of
well, I
all
guess
the
it doesn't matter now
overlapping
'cause
voices.
they're about to mulligan.
But
Okay, if you can
nonetheless,
go ahead, mulligan real fast now.
I think he was saying try to keep just don't chat in the general chat. Even I don't know why the spoiler text maybe didn't work for them, but
Yeah, I just love that mechanic.
oh, you edited it? Oh, they have
No, you're good. You're good.
notifications.
You're
They have
good.
notifications, so they probably saw the pop up.
Exactly. Yeah.
so
Honestly,
It's okay. I wanted to just unmute everyone else just so that way everyone else was on the same page.
Well, we're gonna have to restart the entire game due to Imposter Kings. I'm just kidding.
Due to imposter.
interesting setup here.
Hold on, make sure Yedi, are you muted?
Wait. Okay, I have him muted.
Okay, have everyone muted, I guess.
Yeah. No, I was just yeah. 1 second.
This recording can never see the light of day.
This is the best recording.
Okay, everyone is muted. You're good to go. Go ahead and start talking.
I'm not gonna say a thing. I'm not gonna falter to his demands. What do you think, Dan?
Cool.
We got a 9 and 2 8s.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to worry about getting mysticked. You've got to assume assassin on the other side. You have
not
the
great.
king's hand as a countermeasure. You don't really have enough beef to just batter them. It's interesting to think about how you really play this.
I mean, 2
You-
Oathbounds, 2 Inquisitors, and 2 8s. That's a beef of a hand. That's going to. I think Yeti has to go for a risky 3 here.
Yeah, I'm evaluating kind of because Goose has a lot of survivability. He's got the zealot. He does have a he can throw away one of the elders and keep the other for the queen. And of course he's got the princess, which he can trade to get rid of a junk if he needs to. You know, I think Goose has a stronger hand.
You know,
Um,
playing
Second,
against
Noah?
Goose, knowing how he plays,
Secondo?
what I would do is I would assume he would actually keep
Always.
or maybe put the assassin down and keep the zealot in his hand. And so I would inquisit zealot, inquisit, pull out the princess, and then you have yourself, you know, a pretty strong hand to kind of combat his entire hand. So he's went ahead and put his assassin down. This is exactly what I'm talking about. So just kind of knowing the matchup here, if I'm Yeti, I would go first and I would just assault him with the Inquisitors. Because this could be a 3-point hand if he just calls it correctly, if he plays his hand for him.
yeah, critical thing, right, is you want to destroy the
do,
survivability of
do.
his hand.
And Zealot
do,
sucks.
do, do.
It's the worst design card in the game. I hate myself for making it. I'm just kidding. Crowd didn't like that comment.
Yeah, of course he's going to burn the other elder. But yeah, again, the princess is really the danger here. So the princess, he really only has 2 big mechanisms or 3 mechanisms to deal with the beef. He's got princess, king flip, and zealot.
Don't do it. He's gonna put the Inquisitor down. I think. I feel like he needs to play the strength here. I would have actually tossed the judge in this case, and you know how much I love the judge.
I don't know. I mean, if you're gonna lead off with the Inquisitor, you can always judge into the Inquisitor and force him to burn one of his remaining top cards. If you're going to batter him, disable him as much as you can. So you get the judge down, you make him waste one of his precious.
I think I'm
Make
ready.
a different Inquisitor.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Alright.
so again, obviously we both see both of their hands. So, and it looks like Goose is going first for some
Do
reason.
you have an Oathbound?
I do.
So I guess he's just playing
So
it
we're
slow.
looking at a 7.
It's just a really interesting choice to go second here, and also to toss away the Inquisitor. I really think he could have taken the 3 points here, but we have commentator knowledge. It's a lot easier to see. He should know that he has two 7s, and he knows that he himself has 2 8s, and I think that should have been a leading indicator for him to try to go for the
I'll go
double
ahead and flip.
Inquisitor. Early flip, calling him out on the fact that his assassin is face down. I mean, it's not 100% risky because
I'm
he
gonna
has
go
the
ahead and
king's hand,
Mystic.
but still.
Well, here it comes. He's going to come for the
I'm
8s
gonna
here, I'm
Mystic
sure.
8s.
There it is.
I'm gonna go ahead.
I
and
would king's hand that, I think. Yep. There we go.
I guess I'll flip then.
Okay. Sounds good.
He's probably going to use as the question was, what
princess?
is he going to use
do
the
it.
sentry for
Okay.
the
You know
swap?
him.
Yes.
He's going to
I like
probably
to
just use
swap.
as a hard 8,
You would. Fascinating.
and now he's going to swap. Of course, he's going to get
Absolutely
rid of his
fascinating,
dead assassin.
Yep.
Because the assassin has no use anymore because both kings are flipped.
So that's interesting.
This is classic Goose play. This is why he loves the princess so much.
I love it. Okay.
They want to, yeah. I mean, Goose literally flipped in order to set up for this,
Gonna go
but now he has
ahead
to survive.
and
So he wants to make this a
Oathbound
1-point hand as much as
this.
possible.
You know what? Do you have an Inquisitor?
I do.
And he's going to use this to jettison the assassin. This is actually the original purpose for the judge,
Simply playing
and
so proud
he's
right now.
actually using it the way it's supposed to be used. That's crazy. This rarely happens because usually the assassin is used or thrown
I'm gonna
away.
play Zealot on that.
But now the assassin, one of the benefits of the judge is you can get rid of low cards, like the assassin, if it's useless now. So going back to the original hand, when I was saying he should get rid of that judge, there's no reason for it. Maybe he was just thinking 5D chess, and he knew for a fact that his brother was going to do this.
Do you?
We'll never know.
Doth thou have
Calls the queen.
a queen?
He has
I
to
do.
call the queen here.
Yep.
All right.
And yeah,
Yeah.
now
Yeah, you do that.
you can play the elder. He plays
Okay.
the sentry, and he plays the warlord and wins.
For a 1-point win.
He actually swung it to win.
Oh, I'm so sad.
Wow. That was probably one of the best
Warlord
hands I've ever
actually-
seen in
dude,
Monster Kings.
I made it work.
Judge used to get assassin out, and Warlord played to win the game. Simply probably
I
so proud.
went from thinking Yedi should have gotten a 3-point hand from this
Plus, there was an
to
elder plate.
Goose
I mean,
making
there
a
was one
point.
sacked.
It's a
but there was one played.
4-point swing.
Oh man. Wow. You threw away an Oathbound. I guess because he didn't have full. Dude, honestly, this was like the best thing. It's my birthday that this was here. Like not having to worry about, flipping or anything. It was great.
Man, that princess swap for
Okay,
the assassin is
so that's
such a
another
Goose
1
move.
point
I
to
think
you.
it's like coined after him at this point. He literally does it a lot of the games I've seen. Oof, look at this hand. I see red on one side.
That's a disaster. Yeah.
Just give you 2. Okay.
Well, you know
I
what?
think
This
it's
might
backwards.
not be as much
Yeah.
a disaster as it seems. Let's just look it through. Because he does get to pick whether to go first or not.
Yeah, I'm
He does
mulligan.
have both Inquisitors.
Ooh, you're gonna. Oh no.
Yeah, there's no chance.
He didn't have. He had no oath bounds. He had
Oh, wow.
He had
You
no
play an
mystic
8 and I
power.
lose.
He's yeah.
Holy
he's
shit.
gonna have to take the mulligan on
I
that
mean,
one.
1 royalty, 1 royalty. You play a 7, I lose. Or you play a 7, I flip. You play an 8, I lose.
Yeah.
Well, no,
That's
then you play the other 8 and I lose. So yeah.
yeah. That's pretty rough. It's rough that this is here.
Yeah, it was just a oof. Well, 2-point mulligan used.
It happened.
It happened. So did that.
The fool was the accused. Interesting. Yeah, the fool's the accused now. All right. Interesting hand with a lot of angles on this one.
Yeah, Goose only needs 2 points to win this, and he's got all the cards he needs. Especially, he's lucky that the mulligan gave him. I mean, yeah, the mulligan gave Tater or Yedi True King, which is at least nice. That's one side benefit of doing the second mulligan. But yeah, I mean, 2 Inquisitors with
Cards.
Queen, King's Hand, and the Assassin. I mean, it's pretty tough to come back from here. This is, but you know, we've seen them kind of know each other's hands, come back from it. He's still got the Warlord potential there. Neither
The game
player
just
thinks the fool,
automatically
but neither
arranged
player
my
knows
hand
that the
into
fool is
this
away.
nice, beautiful
Yeah, I
rainbow.
mean, I would say at this point, yeah, Yeti has a weaker hand, but this is
That's
not an
fair.
intractably weak hand. It has weapons. You know, a
He can
skillful.
threaten. He can threaten the 6-1 combo even though he doesn't have it. Neither player realizes.
Okay.
Both players realize that each player has an Oathbound, but they don't. And they think that they probably other player also has a fool.
This is
So
a
that means
wild
Goose is
one.
going to probably play a little bit more conservatively. Maybe even call out that Oathbound early, and it might not be as dangerous as it would have been if he was, you know, focusing on the 6-1 combo.
Right.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, the princess could save Yeti's bacon here. You know,
Oh, yeah.
using that at the right time, when Goose's hand is in the right position, could swing this. I don't think that this one's over.
You can't go first though, right? Yeah, I mean Yeti has to go first. I mean, he can't give the first player over to Goose. I don't think,
Yeah,
because he has to hold on to an Elder in his hand, unless he plays super risky. I
yeah,
feel like he has to go first.
yeah. Basically, I think Yeti's best opening would be to go first, play the soldier, and guess something you really know Goose is going to have.
Yeah. All right, I have a question from the audience. What's going on?
I think I have to go first. I think it's a losing play, but I think I have to go first.
So people are asking, why is it good to go first here, or how do you decide? In this case, because Goose has 2 Inquisitors, if you let him go first, he can just rail your first card, Inquisit your Elder, second card, Inquisit your Princess, and then bam, a lot of your turn has been decided for you. You lose a lot of good cards. Yeah, exactly. So so I mean that's one. So he just said, I think I have to go first, and this is the reason why. So now he has to play somewhat tricky and not allow him to get out those Inquisitors.
Okay.
Another thing that he has to do is he has to get his Mystic down to kill the 2 at some point. And so he might actually even have to Oathbound into Mystic. So he might think about doing that, going second for that type of thing. But again, it's those Inquisitors that are really painful. So he's hiding his Sentry. This is painful for him, but
Ready whenever you are.
he really wants to just make this a 1-point hand. If he can.
With an old
Starting with a 7.
Oh,
Not the
classic.
soldier.
Interesting.
classic.
Yeah.
They're very smart about their soldiers, but we'll see if that is. I'm curious to see what he's trying to do here. He's guaranteeing pressure.
I've got to think the reason why is maybe to keep the soldier later to exile some cards. To
Thinking that
set
the
up
other
the
player has
mystic.
a full.
Yeah.
That's possibly in his mind right now. So what Dan is saying is that the soldier has the ability to disgrace cards in the court. The fool likes to pick up cards, and so he's saving it so that way he can make sure that Goose can't pick up any cards with his fool. Unbeknownst to him, he doesn't even have that. He doesn't have. Oh. And now he's forcing the issue with the Oathbound. The fool's the face down card, so neither player has it, but they don't know that.
Okay.
And now he's forcing out the princess. He's taking cards into his own hand. They need to disgrace that warlord. But yeah, he goes Oathbound into Inquisitor, so he forces it. He goes right into the princess. This is a smart play from Goose. He knows, hey, I got to get some cards out of their hands, and he's very unlucky he didn't call the Sentry and instead called the princess. But that was a good guess. He knows his brother. He's now debating whether he should swap.
If you want to use the ability.
Yes.
In this case, if they do decide to swap, I bet you they both just trade
I think
soldiers.
it will not swap.
No?
Nope.
Which I think is hilarious. Now, Goose
Maybe
might
I'd just
flip
put
here.
that.
Yep, he does. He only needs a 2-point victory. He has the assassin in hand. Now, this is a trap. If Yeti decides to Mystic, he's just going to King's Hand it, and then there's no way Yeti can save himself from this hand. What he needs to do is actually go Oathbound into Mystic in order to make it so the King's Hand cannot be played. If you use the Oathbound's ability, it makes it so that you cannot use the King's Hand on the preceding.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Right, but
soldier.
the only way to
Wow,
force
cancel.
that is to pick the soldier and
You have
guess
King's
right.
Hand.
He's got to get the
Yep.
number up.
Okay. I'm gonna do
Yep.
flip and flip.
Looks like he called it right. I don't know what he guessed. I probably assassin.
Sell it that one.
Brings it back down.
Oh, so yep,
And
he's
he
got
knows exactly what's going on here.
yeah, and Goose has a soldier, so this is the
But he
rare
has to guess
soldier play.
wrong.
He's not even gonna guess. Yeah,
Um,
you don't have to guess for the soldier,
do
do
you
you?
have the
Nope.
Mystic?
Oh,
I do.
he guessed.
Why did he guess correctly? That was well,
Okay.
he isn't. Yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead and Mystic 2s.
Oh, misplay right there.
Okey-dokey.
He had the game. He might still have the game.
yeah. Queen will wrap it.
No.
Oh no, he let him
How
wriggle
could
out.
you do that, Noah?
My goodness, two
How could you
misplays
do
from
that?
Goose there.
You
Wait.
threw it away.
Oh, fuck. I forgot.
You literally
There.
just had to play this, my guy.
Oh, well, now it's so
Oh
exciting.
my lordy, it's a 1-point hand.
All the things that could have gone. Oh my goodness.
7-1. Okay.
What?
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 No, it's 6-1 now.
I know. Thanks to my doing.
Yeah, I know.
My goodness me. He
I don't
got
think
out of
because
that
my
one.
thing was that if you,
You gotta give credit to
Yeah.
you gotta give credit to Yeti for recognizing that he had to do he didn't fall for the trap. I mean, he just gets it. And that's now he's back in the game. He might have an opportunity here. Not great. The hand. He's got the sevens. It's the sevens versus the eights. And the eights usually have it.
This hand, I think, is actually strong. I think this is a hand you can win with. Looking at what's there, again, he's got initiative. He
Goose
can
has
wait up.
initiative. Oh no, yeah, Tater has the initiative. You're right. Yeah, he
Yeah.
definitely can start doing some some judge shenanigans. He
Let the
can
comeback
oathbound
commence.
into that mystic to hit the eights.
Begin the drums.
Exactly. I'm thinking, one way to, well, we'll see what he decides to keep, but the judge is the obvious leadoff play here. Again, burn out some of Goose's hand, and then, see if you can wait him out, get the mystic. You got to deal with the king's hand. You're most I wouldn't be surprised to see him successor the assassin here. Try to pull out something big. Use that as a way to use your king flip effectively, and then get the assassin in hand with Goose just running the clock out on him, basically.
It's just so tough because Goose only needs 1 point. If this would be a completely different hand if it was 3-3 or something like that. But now that it's 6-1, like Yeti has to survive essentially. I thought he was gonna throw that away. I was like, come on, Yeti. I know that you play eccentric, but don't throw away the princess, please. He hides the princess. We'll see what he decides to do.
I think I'm going second.
Condo?
Interesting.
Gonna go second.
Mhm.
Okay. So he's
Gonna go
playing. He's on
second.
survival mode.
I think that's curious. I
wonder if
think
he'll
this is a
throw
hand you have to
away-
play aggressively with.
There you go. He hides the king's hand. He doesn't realize that Yeti does not have an inquisitor. That's why he's hiding the king's hand. The queen's hand is the face down card. So what's happening here is that Goose, not realizing that Yeti doesn't have the the inquisitor is hiding his king's hand. This could be an opportunity for Yeti if he recognizes it. Obviously, he know for sure, but something you can kind of meta think about because Goose does hide his king's hand often. So, can we see what he threw away
Be my
there,
guest.
Mr. Is it the elder? Okay.
Ye-
cool.
Oh.
So he threw away the elder and he succeeded his princess. Meanwhile, Goose threw away Zealot and throwing away
Well,
the Zealot when he needs a
Mhm.
1 point hand and
do
succeeded
you
his king's hand.
have the assassin?
I do.
Nice.
Unfortunate. If he actually was able to not have this go up to a 7, he could have done his judge soldier play. He wants to play the 7. He's hoping that Goose goes big. He's probably not going to fall for that. High enough card will allow Yeti to be able to 6-7 for the eights here. Let's see here. He does not. Yeah. Here it is. Here's the 8. This is, I think you go for the jugular here. Hit the 8s. Three
Yeah.
8s. He might just flip, but I think the better play here is the 6-7.
Okay.
I mean, knowing perfect knowledge that we have, obviously, if he actually like went for like the 6 to the 4 or something like that, but he would still have to deal with that century.
I'm going to.
Yeah, it looks like that's what he's probably going to do.
Well, this
He's
is happening,
debating.
but I just don't know how I want it to happen.
That's fair.
Oh, there we go. He's giving riddles to his brother, giving him hints. I have a 6, he's basically saying. He's flipped the queen. He's like, I just don't know how I'm going to do it, though. So it could be a king flip or an oathbound. Oathbound, when play on a higher card, will flip that card, and then you can play another card of any value. This is probably not a newbie stream, though. These are some complex plays that we're seeing here.
I think I'm going to Oathbound. Then Mystic 8s.
Eight.
I mean, he could have also done Oathbound into Judge, buy himself a turn, and then Judge Mystic into 8s.
Okay.
But then he could be susceptible to the king's hand. So
I would like
there
to
you go.
inquisit your 2.
Okay.
Shucks. All right. Likely going to be a Judge play unless he fears that he's just going to flip on whatever he decides to guess on. Does he have an answer for that 8? Dan? Still got the princess, I guess.
Yeah.
This is just a bummer because he doesn't have any cards that disrupt his opponent. So it's going to come down to a slugfest at the end. And he still has an Oathbound. He's still got a Sentry.
Flip.
Okay.
Yeah, he's now... Goose's hand right now has the most utility I've ever seen in
Go
my
back through
life.
and see what's been played.
He can even... So now that he has the king's hand, he now can king's hand the princess even. So it's like every source of utility that Yedi had. This is a squeeze, a classic squeeze. Goose is just literally suffocating Yeti's options.
If they invoke
Question from the
power.
audience. Question from the audience: can you negate the princess's power with the king's hand? You can if she elects to use her ability.
Go flip.
This is just suffocating. It's hard to watch, but you know, I want to see more games between these two.
Yep.
Flipping on nothing. Ouch.
Play an Oathbound.
Okay.
That is painful. Oh no. Oh my gosh. He has an answer for every single thing he could possibly do.
Would you like to swap?
Nope.
All right.
Make it a 1-point hand here.
Do you have a king's hand?
I do.
Fascinating.
Yep. Now.
And I know that you have a
Bam.
sentry, and I lose.
There it is.
These hands are so rough.
That was-
Those were some good games.
I should have Oathbound Mysticked 3s, I guess.
No, that would have been bad because like so
Oathbound Mysticking 3s was or 8s was bad because they're just 8. Like they still get played down as answers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the problem is that you mysticked and I was able to inquisit your assassin out, right?
That wasn't really a problem. I knew you were gonna get there eventually.
He actually wasn't.
Both been missing 4s, maybe. But then he can save his king's hand.
Oh, you didn't know, but my king's hand was here.
Jesus Christ.
I thought.
Why,
Oh.
Noah?
I
Here's
thought
the
you were gonna
reveal.
inquisitive at some point.
There
So,
it is.
yeah,
That's not
no.
how that works, though, Noah. Because if I miss it, and
So
then you
my
miss your Inquisitor, I win.
my goal was to inquisit your assassin, and then pick it up with the sentry, so that way you couldn't flip, and then I was gonna flip, and I would have
What if
both
I had
the
flipped
king's hand.
before then?
I don't know.
Well,
Oh
thanks
my
for
God.
watching, folks. We could probably stop the
Ladies and
the recording
gentlemen, our
here.
top 3 contestant.
But yeah, congratulations to Goose
to
for making
unmute
it to the
everyone.
top 3, and yeah,